Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the York City Historical Architectural Review Board for Thursday, October 30th. Call to order. Skian.
Present.
Zumbrum, no. Schurmeyer.
Here.
McLean Gross.
Here.
Gifford, no. O'Brien, well, not at the present time. And I'm recording Carlos. Santiago.
Present.
Minutes of the previous meeting. For those that were at that meeting, did you have a chance to review them?
I reviewed them even though I wasn't at the meeting.
Do you have any corrections? Craig's on has corrections.
No specific corrections. I take a little bit of exception to discussion regarding 26 West College Avenue. It says Mr. Scan interrupted. That sounds a little harsh.
I just took it off of I took it off of the recording that I did. I didn't even touch it. All I did was.
I was very polite.
It's probably the way the AI thing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. It just makes me sound like a.
Sorry, it just picked up and I just.
Absent that correction, I move that we accept the minutes of the meeting.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, I call for a vote. All those indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
You want to second that?
Yeah, me.
Okay. First case tonight, 103 North Newberry. Come on up to the podium.
Evening.
Oh.
My first one of these, so I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing.
Well, you and Sheldon are in the same boat.
I mean, I'll speak based on your notes here. It looks like you were talking about an in-kind replacement of the half-round gutters and downspouts.
Correct.
In-kind replacement of the deteriorated wood faceboard, wood soffit board, wooden cornice, where they're rotten.
Correct.
You're going to replace any loose or broken slates with new slate to match as close as you can get. You're not talking about a roof replacement or anything, just a repair. Good. Okay.
Yep.
And so new wooden faceboard and soffit to match existing half round. I'll say if for like your faceboards and stuff like that, your wooden components, we will accept a composite. They don't have to be wood. If you want to use wood, that's fine, but the composite may hold up better for you.
Okay.
New crown molding to replace individual cornice pieces under soffit. So you're talking about replacing the brackets, or just the molding between the brackets?
Decorative.
Dental work.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because when we rip that board off, a lot of that's going to come with it.
Okay. We'd like to, so the brackets you're going to replace are, you want to replace these in kind, well, by bracket I mean that.
Can I approach?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes. We want to replace those with crown molding underneath.
Okay, these elements here, we'd want you to either retain it. I mean, you're going to replace this crown molding with a new piece that's either like a composite or something that matches closely or in kind. But these we'd like you either preserve or replace with something
Similar.
that looks very similar.
Okay.
I know there are composites out there that look like that. You might have to do some searching for it or go to Myers or one of those places.
Mm-hmm.
I know FIPON used to make them, for example, but there's other companies, ASIC and some of the other ones that make brackets and stuff like that now.
Okay.
You may be able to buy something off the shelf that's pretty close.
Yeah, we can do that. That's no problem.
Yeah. Is there anything else, or it's just basically that fascia work?
Yeah, the fascia and the gutters, and then the slate.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we accept this as submitted.
I will second that motion.
I think we gotta say as amended, because the submitted was to replace the brackets. Or to remove the brackets and replace them with crown molding. I think we wanna amend it that the brackets will
Will
be
remain in
either,
place.
if you find those brackets aren't rotten, replace them, reuse them. If you need to replace them, I think I'd add to the, the minute, or add to the motion that they be replaced with a wood or composite bracket similar to the
Agreed.
original.
Agreed.
And the same way with the crown molding below the soffit.
I will amend my motion to reflect those comments.
I will second the amended motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, I call for a vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
So the second and third case, he said he was on his way, and that's why I just asked Shelton to see if the door was still unlocked. And he is, right? Yeah.
Okay, we can wait a couple
Checking to see how close.
minutes if you want me to jump ahead of him.
I
I'll
was gonna say we have form, so if you want to jump ahead.
just give him a couple minutes. We don't hold him up.
So there's one person presenting for 20 North Penn, 413, 417, 423 West Market, and 45 South Queen.
No, just the 20 Penn and the West Market Street numbers, that's the same person. The South, or the, what is it, South Pine?
South Queen.
South Queen, he did not show up last week, and I did notify him that it was changed to this one, so.
Okay, and then Mark Schermeyer is 462 to 464 West Market.
Yeah. Let's give him a couple minutes, as long as you don't mind waiting. If not, I'll jump ahead here. Do you have your drawing of his sketch here for 413, 417? Like I said, I forgot my packet.
He said he's at the light exchange.
Okay, we'll wait. Because he has a sketch in there.
There he is, he's there.
Okay. Yeah, okay. And that's what I'm trying to determine.
Don't sit down.
You're up.
20 North Penn.
Yes.
Do you have the window submission?
Oh, okay. 20 North Penn, was here before about changing the windows out. There's about 100 or almost 200 windows there.
Right.
So I guess since the last time I was here, things, technology has changed, quality of materials have changed, products have changed, and many companies that I spoke to about having the individual lights, so it has more of an architectural style for their products of their windows that they have. Composite windows are very hard, not too many people actually make them, and I think one window is like $1,500. So when I did price the project, it was almost close to 200,000 to replace the windows, which is extremely high. And so we looked at other alternatives, and I put together a better packet than what you guys have there to show different styles of windows. I actually took some examples of another larger building in the city similar to mine that just replaced their windows, had older windows. And then to show you the detail of the windows, and then the windows right next to their building who have new windows with the divided lights. So you guys can see the different styles and the quality.
Do we have that?
No, I think originally I sent you guys multiple things to Ms. Nancy, and she said I guess they all was sent together, and then it didn't really,
I separated them.
then she separated it, but it really didn't have, so you guys don't have probably the full package. So I brought the full package last week, but she said just wait till we're here again so you guys can see it.
Yeah, because we couldn't meet last week. I guess we need to know the acceptable windows would be a new replacement windows would be a new composite unit. They don't have to be true divided lights. They can be simulated divided lights in the same configuration that's there now. Acceptable materials that are the more expensive ones are like wood, which wouldn't probably hold up. Metal clad wood, composite clad wood, all composite. And there are a number of composites out there. We throw out a lot, just for lack of, just a quick reference, Anderson A series or Anderson 100 series, which is all composite. You can get them custom sized, simulated divided lights. There are all sorts of other manufacturers out there. Pella has a line that is a composite. Marvin has a line that is composite or fiberglass. Those kind of things are acceptable. What's not acceptable, especially on street facades, and very visible facades, are vinyl windows in the district. And part of it is the look that they have, and also long-term, the durability for you is not going to be there. For example, my office is in a building that had, over 400 windows, and the developer, 20 years ago when they did the building, put vinyl windows in there, and as recently as 5 years ago, the units started to fail. And owners gradually have to replace them because they have a very limited lifespan to them. So anyway, so we're very, that's one kind of hard, fast rule. There are certain places on facades that aren't really visible except from, a very hidden alley or something like that, rear of residential structures that they're not visible, that will allow vinyl. But not on front street facades like this on major streets. So, but yeah, I think we need to know what you're looking at. I guess you need to, what you want to replace them with, you need to provide us with something that,
Yes.
is acceptable, and then we'll approve it.
When I originally sent it, I know she said that, vinyl isn't, and I explained to Ms. Nancy that I'm a direct wholesaler with my other company for actual window companies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get better products than the standard slap a vinyl window in from Lowe's or Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
So some of my suppliers, they said, well, we would give the warranty of the window for 30, 40 years because I have been buying windows from them and I'm pretty much in their system. So when you say vinyl, are you just talking about the look of the window? Or are you just talking about because of the material? Because the windows there now aren't really they're worse than a vinyl window. So
Well, they're pretty old and deteriorated because the building was abandoned
Correct.
for so long.
So
Yeah, that's true.
it's not really, I'm not paying the utility, so I'm not doing it for me. So it's not like I have to change the windows because it's not like I'm losing any money. But for the citizens of York, it would be an improvement to do the style of the window. So I brought pictures so that you can see the different styles So you would say, okay, this window look exactly like the window that we want to look there with the divided lights that you referred to. So I can bring it to you if you want to see.
Sure.
So we are no longer looking at these crystal windows.
So crystal windows, they can make the window look exactly like any architectural window. So I'm licensed through Crystal Windows, and I get all my windows through Crystal Windows currently. And they said any style, they can make the window look exactly like that. And they can offer a warranty for 40 years because this is a new company that I'm with and they want my business all over.
So is Crystal a vinyl product or is it a composite product?
So Crystal has many products. They have aluminum, they have what they call it's not true composite, but a PVC, which is
Okay.
composite decking or whatever, PVC decking. So they said they have other materials, but they don't say a composite window. So they said we got ironclad, we got vinyl, we got PVC makeup, and then I brought other companies so that you can see
Right.
what's there.
The PVC would be acceptable. Again, that's, a lot of your composite products are PVCs or mixes of that.
And this building is a good example, and I sent this, and she said, well, why is this so important? Because both of these are windows you can see was just a basic vinyl window with no divided lights versus you see one that looks more like an architectural window.
Right.
So
You're talking about the Bicomp buildings.
Correct.
Yeah.
now Reliabuilt, which is, you see the divided lights there to show. This is a vinyl window that looks exactly like any architectural window that you see. So the improvement of the quality is not just the basic or the homeowner just slapped the window in.
I know there's one building years ago that we allowed it in, HARB allowed it in, was 30 South Howard. And those were a Colby vinyl window, and it was a vinyl product or a PVC product, but they were much more, they were like these, they were better looking, they
Robust.
were much more,
Yes.
Yeah, and that building is never finished, and I guess those windows are still fine. Even though the last 20 years, the building's just sat there. So which product are you talking about from,
So
which line, which product from Crystal are you talking about?
So Crystal said they would provide a window that look exactly like the architecture windows that's there.
Okay,
So all the divided lights, and they show you the different here. So I'm not gonna put a window that's just flat with grids inside.
right,
It's gonna
right,
look
which the
exactly
one building there has the grids inside the
correct.
window.
And that you don't see the actual style
Right.
that you're looking for.
I mean, that building was probably a tax credit building. So those might be either Andersons or Marvins or something like that, I don't know.
So my building's not gonna
was-
look like this.
Okay,
They're gonna have windows that look like this.
okay.
So you're gonna have all of the different features that when you see it.
So you'd be looking at the Crystal PVC product,
Correct.
okay.
With the grids on the outside.
Correct. The divided lights on the outside, correct.
Okay.
And are these slide-in units, like the windowsill stays the way it is? Or
The
the current windowsill that's there now?
So we replaced most of them. I'm sure you've been by a couple times. So
Yeah,
these-
every day.
Yes.
He lives around the corner.
Yes, so we spent more time fixing the windows than 90% of the stuff in the building. And the windows constantly keep breaking, So Queen Street, and I know because my cousin lives there, but their windows, you see this all the time, they just replaced them. Because the people say, why the glass is shattered? They're old, they're cold,
Right.
and they just bust out.
Right.
So we're trying to prevent that come this winter. All the broken windows just popping in everybody's window. So that's why we wanted to, and these were all repainted, but just from opening and closing them, they're scraping,
Right,
they're
right.
rubbing, they're
Right.
not.
Yep.
But all of these were replaced, or 90% of them. So we didn't spend the time doing this to just, come in and say we're gonna do whatever, so you
Right.
guys aren't happy. We're
Right.
doing this. They said take down the fire escape. I'm sure you see 99% of the fire escape is down. You know, if it wasn't raining today, it would be down. So we're trying to improve the city by putting in better windows, but we wanted to come, you know, to get your blessing.
So, back to what I just asked
You have to get her blessing.
Yes.
Anyway,
The windowsill that's there now
Correct,
is
this
gonna
one
stay.
will still say, just all of this would be,
That's all I'm asking.
correct, yep.
Okay.
So any ones that's rotted, we'll replace them again with wood and take the actual window out itself.
Because one of the windowsills that was wrapped, this is before you had the building, is the one that fell down in the alley. You know, could have hit somebody on the head. And it's the example we use to applicants to not wrap the windows. The water still gets in. Well, it fell off the building, the wood and the wrapping.
The wrap fell out.
Well, it was two pieces by then.
Yeah, correct, it rotted and cracked away.
Right.
So these are just examples, but, you know, as you've seen, we spent a lot of time fixing those windows.
okay. Yeah, it gets confusing because PVC is technically a vinyl, but it's also like the composites we approve, or, you know, like ASIC and stuff are PVCs. So they're all different chemical properties, but a lot of times when we talk about vinyl, we're talking about the, you know, the more flexible, softer, stuff.
Yeah, PVC is gonna have rigidity to it.
Yeah,
There's no question.
I think we would want to see that it was entered into the minutes of the exact type of crystal product you're going to use. So we kind of want that specification so we're sure.
I'm still confused. Is it crystal or is it reliable?
Yeah, because there's stuff in here.
These are just other alternatives, because she said that bring
Okay.
other alternatives.
Okay.
So this reliable is this window here, which is, it's a vinyl, but their architectural series that has the individually divided lights.
Right.
But the company I'm associated is with Crystal.
Okay.
And this is the spec sheet that they said that would show the divided lights on that, what it would look like outside of the glass.
The color of the windows, you paint them or you're
Bronze
gonna
or
use-
black. They told
Okay.
me they heat treat, I guess, however they
They could do
color.
a bronze or a black. Okay,
Yeah.
if that's what you want. Okay, that'll show the dirt less along the
And so
street there.
they're all gonna be 6/6.
The ones in the rear,
We didn't look there.
there's many different styles of windows. There's some that's 1 over or 2 over none. There's 6 over none. So the front ones, I believe, are the original bottom ones didn't have grids, but we took the back ones and put them in the front.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I think the visible Penn Street facade and the visible alley facade were most concerned, but when you go back and around the building, you can probably
we
even
can
just
do
do
them on
1
6
over
or
1
6.
windows there and we'd be fine with that. Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah.
But the front 6 over 6.
Yeah.
The front and the alley,
And the alley going down, yep.
yeah,
Yep.
the one I go down.
And believe me, if you don't do the right thing, we'll hear about it, because Dennis will see it right away.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
Did you want to see this?
Oh, I looked at it on my phone.
Okay.
Do you have any?
I appreciate that, but
Yeah.
I'm over here looking at it on my phone in tiny, which I realize there's more of that in there, but I'm,
So what do you want in the motion?
I can move that, or that, we approve replacement of the existing windows with a crystal PVC product, correct?
Correct.
With simulated divided lights,
External.
well, simulated external divided
So this
lights.
is an amended
Yeah, I move,
It's
we,
specifying.
right, we approve the submission as amended,
Okay.
okay? And that's, we were allowing replacement of the existing windows with a crystal PVC window in dark bronze color as presented. Flip to the crystal page. I want to see if it shows, if it gives a,
He has it.
oh, you have the, so it gets into motion. Simulated divided lights to match the existing configuration. And on the North Penn Street and West Clark Avenue facades, the windows would be replaced with simulated divided lights to match the existing configurations. On the west and north facades of the building, we would allow 1/1 windows. It doesn't say, oh, that's just United. This is your only page for the crystal.
Correct.
Okay. Existing sills and the frames are going to be retained also? Existing frames? Existing sills and existing frames will be retained, repaired, repainted.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I moved. Yeah, I think
I'll
that's-
second.
I think we were waiting to make sure you were done.
Yeah, I'm waiting because Dennis is trying to carefully write all this out.
The PVC structure adds titanium dioxide.
It does.
Yep.
And then we're saying the south and west side, that they can be,
1/1, if the owner desires. Are these the crystal windows also? Or that's a different one? Okay.
Here's a bunch of other
Crystal.
windows.
so are you saying right now, the south and the west side will be 1/1s? Or not? That's the,
The south, yeah, I said
back.
north. I was wrong on that.
said
South
north.
and west.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the wrong
South.
side. North is the alley, yeah.
the sides I can't see. Are gonna be 1/1s? Or,
Yes, that's fine.
well, no,
If you want to do if you want to, if you want to match the existing mullion configuration there, that's fine. You might save some money doing, 1/1s, that would be acceptable there. If it's a mishmash now, it's not, Because that building has been added to. I was in it a long time ago when the Lehman Center was thinking of possibly moving into it many years ago.
I was into that building a lot years ago.
Yeah, and I think it looks, as I'm recalling, it was added to, and changed over many years.
Your pen.
Yeah.
are there any door issues? Not,
I don't think you're
not
applying
on,
for any door.
not on, okay.
Right, you're not, it is just the windows.
Are those mailboxes safe?
Safe from vandalism?
Well, when I see one hanging open, why is that?
Post office never put a lock in it. We called them 10 times.
Okay, I was just curious. Doesn't look good.
That's another subject from the post office.
Okay. The motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, I call for a vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
So the second, is rough, I'm sure. You walk past the alleyway every day, you'll see places that's all deep down, look like they're falling. So what I did was took a liberty of taking some pictures, better pictures, and in color. So you see the front, and I'm sure you know the rear.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
building,
Trying to understand what you're doing here. So anyway. So are we talking about the Market Street buildings or we're talking about alley buildings?
they're in the alley of that building.
Okay,
So it doesn't come up too much on Google. 'Cause
so
it's-
they're in Clark Alley.
No, they're right in that space there. If you
Here.
drive behind that section there, the building's in the back.
Okay, no wonder I'm missing them. Okay, and can't figure out. Okay,
Yeah,
so it's
yep.
that row back there.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. Dennis, we're gonna have to rely on you for. So do they front on Clark or they don't?
They back on Clark.
Back
See,
on-
I thought you were talking about these buildings that, okay, are right on Market Street, which is where I was having trouble figuring out. Okay, I see them now. Yeah, they're back in there, okay. So you say they don't front on Clark?
The back of these buildings are on Clark.
Are on Clark, okay. No wonder I'm confused, okay. So,
So, Mark, since we didn't have this conversation before about major projects going forward, where you would like to have zoning and planning approval first,
right,
where this is, so, in your opinion, would you consider this a major project, being he's adding a whole story on there, because he is gonna need some, land development?
yeah, what I was gonna suggest is we discuss it, we used to always do preliminary reviews for
I
stuff
think
like
we
this,
do.
before somebody went to planning and zoning, so we discuss what he wants to do, and then give our ideas and opinions, and then as he develops his plans and goes through the rest of the process, he can refine that and then come back to us for a final approval based on,
Correct, but when he had submitted that, didn't do the preliminary review, but
right.
but now that we're talking about this, because of the magnitude of it,
And for stuff like this, we used to always do preliminary reviews. So, so I think that's, so you wouldn't get final approval tonight, but I think because it's brought up to the board, we could always table it. We could treat it like preliminary review and just table it pending planning and zoning review and further information. So you're adding a story to all of these buildings, or?
Not really adding a story,
Okay,
I'm dorming the roof.
Yep,
So,
okay,
yeah.
so
So
previously,
he's
at-
gonna have to add
correct,
on the
on the
ends.
ends of the,
Yeah.
yes.
okay,
So if you look at and I had an example, 312 South Penn Street. I purchased a property from the RDA.
okay.
Through many hands, nobody can ever finish the project.
Mm-hmm,
So I waited 6 months for a permit, but I finished the project in 2 months.
mm-hmm,
It took longer to get the permit than it did me and got the new project.
mm-hmm.
But if you look it up, we dormered the roof because many people, there's no 5 bedrooms left, they're all being sold.
Right,
So some people that we have in 3 bedrooms, they say, hey, you guys are good landlords, can you do a 5 bedroom? So I said, okay, well, we'll do a 5 bedroom. And we like did it completely up. I'm talking about top of the line, everything. And because there's already a structure there, you're just changing the shape of the roof and using that existing floor.
Got it. Yeah, I don't think, given these are alley buildings that have been compromised anyway and don't have a lot of integrity, I mean, offhand, I don't have an issue with what you want to do with them. I think what we want to approve is whatever you arrive at with your final plans. I mean, you're going to need permit drawings. You're going to need all of that stuff. So I think once you need the planning and zoning, I guess. So once you get all that in line, I think we can table it tonight pending, submission of your final plans and for our final vote. But just offhand, I don't have an objection to what you want to do. I mean, you live in the neighborhood, so.
Dorming.
Well, that's where you may want to, yeah.
So if
So
dorming,
here's good representation of it, Dennis. Correct me if I'm wrong. This building here, see, what he's envisioning is taking that building and turning it into this.
So you're really kind of adding a story.
Adding,
Well, then you are adding a story.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
but there's
You're
stores.
saying not really.
So, and let me show you the picture. So, most of the windows are vinyl, but you can't see from this, but there's actually bedrooms there. It's just the ceiling is low. So when most times, in a lot of houses in the city, they'll have what they call a third floor, but it's not really a third floor because it's not 7 feet.
more
Right.
crawl space.
Right.
Correct. So what we do is we cut the roof and raise the roof so that it's a true floor height and the kids aren't, most people put their kids on that third floor.
Right.
So the entire roof,
So not the ends.
Raise the
but-
roof.
Yeah, so we take about a foot in and then we raise the roof to make it a true floor height.
So it is kind of like a wall dormer,
Yeah, so this other picture
and
shows.
it would
the other
change the
side.
slope of the roof.
okay.
It's
So you-
kind of like a shed dormer.
So, yeah.
Basically, it's
So
like a
you're
shed
seeing
dormer is
that
what he's
upper
doing
floor.
to raise the height of that
Well,
second
yeah, I
floor.
mean, I've seen people put a peaked roof and the one in the backyard goes up like this.
Right.
Is that dorming?
Yes, that's a shed dormer.
Okay.
The whole back of my 1946 house where I used to live in Hillcroft those houses were that way. I mean, it kind of looked like a 1.5-story house, but that was just to bring the scale down and make it look smaller, but inside you had a whole usable second floor because the whole back was this shed dormer, which is how they did those houses to
So, like,
get
now-
usable space.
No engineer's report, this is,
No, but the permits people will want to see engineering drawings
review.
and all of that stuff.
Oh.
Which is why I said, I think tonight we just table it based on them
Okay.
ready to submit final
That's
drawings to you
a good
guys.
This
example.
was a low bedroom roof, and we cut the roof where the roof was falling, collapsing in. And this, we raised the roof to make it a true
okay.
bedroom, normal ceiling height.
Right. I don't object to that on these buildings and on the alley facade. I think, it would be an improvement. I think basis, your plans are still only schematic. I think I would move that we table the application, that we're in support of adding the shed
Concept.
dormers, the concept, adding the shed dormers, and we're tabling it pending submission of pending planning and zoning review and submission of final permit drawings. Yeah.
So these drawings, the reason why I submitted it is because this is my first time. I did this about 5 other places. I did 259 West Springersbury, my old house. I turned the third floor into a 3-bedroom apartment. So I did this like 10 different times. So these are approved plans that have been approved 4 times already. And, it's not something that I'm new to doing. This is not new. This has been done consistently over and over in time. So these plans was already approved. When I spoke to the last BCO, he went over everything, he explained everything. went through and the project got completed.
You have two new guys now, so you'll have to ask their opinions.
Plus, I don't know that it warrants a full-blown pre-development meeting. Maybe a conversation between Monty, myself, and our city engineer to see if there is any planning and zoning.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and you've been through these before, I don't know. I'm gonna just throw it out there that we need to at least take a look at it from our side. I don't know about.
Well, I think there's more of a, yeah, and I'm just slowing it down because there's more of a process that has to be done
Yeah, when
first
they're-
and be sure they're happy, she's happy, and then us. And I don't have an objection to what you want to do with these. So, and I don't know that anybody else has an objection. So I think we'll approve it. I just think there's pre-processes you need to go through with the city to get to
So
us.
your next visit here, once we get through that, should be relatively quick.
Yeah.
Hey, we've gotten through, you have this,
Right.
this, and this, there's a plan, and, you know, and I'll put you back on the agenda then, as soon as that happens.
And I think, I would be fine approving the crystal windows if you want to use the same product again. I think on these buildings, you could do 1/1s. So I don't think you could save the money. You wouldn't have to do simulated divided lights, at least that's my opinion. Others may have a different opinion. You have a mix of all different kinds of shapes of openings and everything else. And looks like some of these buildings are just garages with like living spaces above. I don't know if they were old stables or what they were before they were converted to
The
garages.
building that's next to 20 North Penn,
Correct.
that has an oldie-timey looking door that hinges out. Is that the oldest building of the three?
Correct.
Yeah, that was some kind of warehouse or,
Yeah, there it is. That one.
I thought it was a movie theater.
it's got a nice look to it.
Then it was a warehouse. Oops.
Yeah.
It's different. So we definitely improve that area altogether.
Yeah.
Many different styles of windows, most, like 90% of them are vinyl, but different vinyl products.
Yeah. A lot of it's.
What alley is this?
Clark.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's really lit up at night
Right.
because of the parking lot.
Yes.
Yep.
Has it super bright.
That's right across from the Roosevelt parking lot, right?
Yeah.
It's that row.
That one.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, depending how long, you could be back by December, I would think, depending how long.
Keep in mind, we only have 2 more meetings.
We have 2 more meetings this year, yeah, one in November, one in December because of the holidays, but yeah, it depends how long it takes to,
Right.
so.
Yeah, I'm not sure what all he's gonna require. I mean, if it's deemed planning and zoning doesn't need anything, I'm saying if.
Right.
And it moves right on to permits,
Right.
so whatever they.
And then you would have to talk to Carlos or Shelton as to what they want to see from you for permit drawings for this. Again, you probably met with Mr. Buffington and, he's retired, so, they may have a different opinion, but, so. Again, I would say I'd table the application pending city planning and zoning process and completion, city planning and zoning process and development of final plans for permit. Yeah. When you're ready to submit for the permit, then you would come back to us.
Is that an official motion?
Yeah, I would table it pending that, but I would also put in the table that we're in support of the concept. We would accept crystal windows, 1/1 windows, like were used at the 20 North Penn property.
I will second Mr. Schermeyer's motion.
Again, this is a table, yeah,
I will second the motion to table
yeah.
as outlined.
Again, it's under denial, it's just not an approval yet, yeah. Yeah. So there's a whole thing yet. Yep.
We don't go.
The table?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah.
Okay, the motion is to table pending city review. And it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Do we have to do anything with 45 South Queen, since they're not here and they weren't here last time? Do we just keep them hanging out under
Well,
old?
Craig used to chair, wasn't there something he did with it? Eventually, when nobody would show up? They just want a metal storm security door. But somebody needs to show up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, that it's like, so much of what we, so many times we let people do staff review. This obviously didn't rise to a like, it rose to board level, not staff review, so we wanted them to come to talk about it.
If you reach out to them and tell them if they submit a full view door, if they take all the loopy frill work off of it, which is not really appropriate for the house that it's on, if they submit something that's full view or simpler, we will approve that. And we might, I would be fine doing that as a staff review, they just gotta submit a simpler design.
Okay, so right now, they're just as a no-show, well.
Right. I'm, you know, like, yeah, they may want some vertical bars, I don't know, but if that would be permissible as long as it doesn't have the curly views, for lack of a better word. It's kind of a New Orleans looking door and it's like not, yeah, it's a little too frilly. For what that property would have had something simple on it.
Blingy.
Too blingy, yeah, there you go.
French Renaissance.
Yeah, French Renaissance, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So if they submit something simpler, and we'd probably do it as a staff review.
And I contacted them to let them know each and every time.
Well, it sounded like they wanted it done before winter when I read through but
Yeah,
that's, maybe they don't have the funds to do it right now. Did we take a vote on it?
Do we need to take a vote on that?
I don't think we need to.
Okay. All right,
All right, so you're up.
so I'm up. I'm going to recuse myself. Present this case. This is a case that has been through planning and zoning. And I think it's submitted for permit. It's the long abandoned building of 462 to 464 West Market Street. And the submission is to restore the front facade of the building, reconstruct the Mason Avenue facade of the building. What the building is being converted to, and I brought these along even though these are interior plans that may not, they don't concern the board, but it would give the board an idea of what's happening with the building. There's going to be 15 affordable apartments, efficiencies and one bedrooms for seniors. It is a development going to be managed by the 100 Group here locally. The developer is HARB Development out of Philadelphia that has developed in Harrisburg. This has long had support of the RDA, Blanda, the YCEA, in helping them secure and provide funds. I think the city has given the project like 1.6 million in ARPA funds. And they're kind of under the gun because that needs spent by the end of 2026, so the current administration is going to claw the money that's not spent back. So they're under the gun of getting the project going. It's currently out for pricing and for bids. What's going to happen is basically all the cornice work, everything on the front facade of this building, it's basically a 1920s building. It's gone through various uses over the years. Understood there's been a furniture store in it at one point. Earlier on, there was an auto dealership. The storefronts on the building are going to get the stonework The stained glass transoms are gonna get restored. New storefront and an accessible ramp would be installed on the front. Storefront would be infill within the existing stonework, so none of that gets changed. Up on top, the window sash would be replaced with, right now the basis of design is an Anderson A series with simulated divided lights like we call it all the time and been used on tax credits. The sides of the building, the west side is not visible at all from a public street or way. The east side of the building is barely visible from a public street or way. This rendering here shows new window openings here at the corner. That's not happening. That is an older version of the rendering was done for a previous version when they were looking at doing an expanded or a full story in the rear and doing up to 21 apartments in the building. That's not happening. So existing window openings further down along the east facade are being reopened. I think there are 2 that are being added, but there again are going to be the same type of windows that are being used on the front. The basically kind of beyond this point in the east side of the building is not really visible from Market Street, and you really have to stand in this alleyway between the 2 buildings and kind of look down the long view between the buildings, which, you know, there are some photos here that show kind of what that looks like along the side. The building itself is in very, and I apologize, I'm kind of rambling all over the place. The building itself is very deteriorated. It's been completely gutted on the first floor. It consisted of a 3-story front section, a 2-story rear section, which was kind of a garage area, and a 1-story infill. The roof on that infill has collapsed, and so there's like a tree growing out of the middle of it. At some point along the line, the building has been completely gutted, so it's basically just a shell.
So, Mark, what's gonna go in on that first floor where the retail space?
Where the retail space is.
Yeah.
Do you have the plan? I'll show you real quick.
Thanks.
What's happening is it's gonna be support spaces for the residents of the building.
Okay, so that's what these, like the
Where that
lobby.
ramp is in this storefront, there's going to be a door, which is where you enter into your main lobby. There's a new stair tower that
Okay.
goes to the 3rd floor, and then off of it is a consultation room.
Okay.
And that would be for like anything from counseling to if there is a doctor that comes in and is meeting with one of the tenants or something like that, they can use that. An elevator, 2 toilet rooms, and then a community room with basically a warming kitchen. Not a cooking kitchen, but just countertop, sink, microwave, that kind of thing. Computer station for residents, so they could have meals brought in and catered, or have a place where residents could meet. Most of the first floor then is gonna be parking. And
Okay.
there's 8 spaces in there now, and that they've been able to get in there. The building itself in the lot's quite narrow, so all of that needed special exceptions with the zoning requirements and for the parking width. Because this was an auto dealer at one time, it was a garage, the rear of the building was lined the first floor with steel windows. They had been bricked up from the outside, but the window sash were still there.
Okay.
So to convert it to a garage to get the ventilation in there, those windows are basically, the sill level is being lowered, so they're gonna be open, and then they're going to be fitted with a grill.
And that's on the east side again.
That's on the east side, yes.
Well, yeah, because on the west side, it looks like it,
There are some also on the west side, but they're not visible at all.
and so it doesn't connect to the building next to it, on the west side.
The west side, there is a building that is immediately against it on the west side. There is a building on Mason, another garage that's immediately against the rear, and on the east side, there's a garage on Mason that's immediately against the rear.
So okay, yeah, so I see here that some of them are, like, when it says adjacent, do they share a wall, or is it two,
We're
like,
talking about adjacent as,
like the building? Like, do they share, like with like if you buy a duplex house, you share that middle wall?
right, they're independently constructed.
Okay, that was what I was getting at, thank
Yeah,
you.
And we're
I did
not
not.
turning anything down, the building is next to it.
Sure, no,
This building, I would guess, and I didn't get a chance to go to the history center and look it up, but I would guess it's like mid-20s. Mid-1920s is when it was constructed, from the looks of it. It certainly, it's certainly that, roughly that era, I'd say from 1915 to 1930-ish, not
Sure.
later than that, not before that. It's
There's,
probably more
there's
likely
no
1920s.
internal ramp
There's
inside.
nothing inside of it right now. As a matter of fact, the rear of, the second floor rear, I kind of walked up there, you can kind of take your life in your hands and go up, and all the floors are rotted because of the roof rotting, and you can kind of look across there. The stairs to the second and third floor in the front have been removed. So our structural engineer has been up there and poked their head up, but nobody has gotten up onto the third floor in the front. We know that doesn't have the water infiltration, but the whole first floor of that building at some point has been gutted. You walk in the doors, you can literally see straight through the end of the building. Everything's been removed.
Well, maybe don't take your life in your hands because we need you to be alive for HARB.
Well, I have, my staff does that now. I'm too old to climb around all this stuff, so. I
Fine.
got a bad back and all this stuff, so it's like, that's my excuse. So anyway, there's a time I used to do it.
Okay.
So basically, the Mason Avenue facade is going to be reconstructed in the same pattern that it is now. It's going to be, I think right now we're calling for it being concrete masonry where we have to rebuild it. A lot of the brick on that facade has been compromised, and we're
Is
changing
Mason on the
openings,
east?
so till we do that, it's gonna be easier to reconstruct
Well,
it,
he
and
said
it's
the
just gonna be a
Mason side
sucker
facade. Is
finish.
that the east side? Is Mason the east side?
It'd be the south side.
No, Mason is the south side. The north side, the front, the Market Street is the north side.
So West Mason Avenue is on the south side of the building. Y'all wonder why I get lost.
Yeah, yeah. This is the West Mason Avenue. And I
Thank
think,
you.
I don't know, this is the facade, this is the current facade of West Mason.
Okay, so that's,
Yeah.
So what we're putting back is something very similar to what's there now. The gate, the doorway gets flipped around, that kind of thing, where there was an overhead door rather than being on
Every
the
old
west side, it's gonna be on the
I've
east
ever
side.
seen,
Until
there
we
was a
do all
car
of that and
dealership
reconstruct it.
had either ramps to go up from floor because they had no outside parking for vehicles. So they had either ramps or some type of freight elevator.
well, maybe they did and somebody ripped them out. I mean,
You're
Mark,
talking about ramps for,
Automobiles.
there is something that was wooden that's kind of in the middle here that looked like at one point it might have been a ramp, but I don't know how long ago it had been an auto dealership versus the furniture store. How long have you
Well,
lived in
the furniture store-
You lived in a neighborhood that's been abandoned, Dennis, right? Yeah, so,
Well, even a furniture store would have had a freight elevator.
yeah, there's no sign of a freight elevator.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
there is a ramp-like contraption in that deteriorated part of the building that's collapsed. That might have had a ramp alongside the stairs that they push stuff up and down.
Yeah.
I don't think when autos were sold out of the building, I don't think there was anything more than parked storage upstairs. It wasn't like the old History Center building, which was built as an automobile garage, or the Bond building, which I think was also an auto dealership, where the King and Queen. The front part of that building's gone, but what remains is the rear part of that auto dealership. They're all concrete and brick structures, and they had, like the Historical Society museum building up till the 80s renovation had the original ramp off of Market Street that went up to the rear of the
Bond
building.
building still has the original one.
It has the ramp still in the Bond building. I thought it was still there, yeah.
Yeah,
But the front of that building's gone, yeah.
the one I'm thinking of is the old M&R Smith on Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
And inside there is a ramp going from the Carlisle Street up to the second floor. They also have a freight elevator in there.
Yeah, I don't think.
But
this one
I've
has a
seen-
elevator.
Yeah,
And we were told, there was a gentleman on the planning, or the zoning hearing board that remembered the furniture store in one of the doctor's offices. I think that the practice that till recently had been Yorktown family practice out on Bannister Street was located here up till like the early 1980s, and then they consolidated and moved out to Bannister.
yep,
And then eventually Wellspan bought them, and I don't even know if Wellspan calls them that anymore or not.
yep.
But yeah.
What do you have to do
That's my
to park cars inside
In that building?
because of air and?
The code is very specific. If you don't provide mechanical ventilation on the area of the openings, and you have to calculate all of that out. So therefore, there's a grill in the back, and that's why we're enlarging these windows, not this way, but dropping the sill. And then you also have to calculate and take off the obstruction of any grill, bars, that kind of thing you put on that array. So between that and mechanical engineers, they've calculated all of that out to be sure it meets the code requirement for an open garage.
So it'll be cold in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this back wall on the plan there will be insulated, yeah. And it will be cold in there. Yeah, because it's basically open, and it will be cold above that floor to ceiling. System has to be insulated
It's
properly.
just a parts per million calculation.
Yeah.
So where are the other parking places? Or are you supplying enough?
No, that was one of the variances in zoning. Nancy's familiar with that they got. Because the city zoning ordinance is written that it's like 1.5.
1.5 parking spaces per unit.
Right, so that's something like 23 if you were doing this. And again, the argument is that most of the residents of this building, some may have cars, but more than likely, most of them won't. Because it is, it's primarily going to be limited to residents 55 and up who don't require a personal care assistance type of living situation yet, but who are close to it. Still can be independent, but basically need, managed services.
55 and up, holy cow.
Yeah, I mean, we're all, most of us here, they are, close to it, not already there, yeah. So, yeah. And that was one of the discussions. As a matter of fact, some of the neighbors showed up at the zoning hearing board and their concern was not. Because it's everybody's concern with parking. But unfortunately, this is the best chance this building has of getting reused. Hopefully everything will go forward. The building already has the X on it, and if this project doesn't happen the way it's deteriorated in the last 10 years, it's a very difficult, very challenging building to reuse. A lot of market rate developers looked at it over the years. I know Jan's looked at it, but the numbers don't work on anybody, because it's a small building. And then getting the parking and getting all of that those other kind of amenities in with it are challenging if you want market rate. So, and especially where it's located, I guess the central business district zone ends at Penn Street. So like where Dutch Kitchen is the other side of Penn Street. You cross Penn Street onto that part of West Market going west, it's a different zone and much stricter requirements. It's, I don't want to dig the zoning ordinance, but it's written almost geared to doing a new build in the suburbs. So the city fortunately has been very flexible, I think, in realizing that the zoning hearing board, they have to grant exceptions.
Well, and even if we don't have enough parking, one of my favorite expressions is needs must when the devil drives. Like, okay, there's not whatever the zoning is, 1.5 spaces for whatever. So what, we say no, and then this building collapses and we lose that? Like,
Well, and HARB can't say no.
no,
anyway.
that's right.
This whole
right,
parking thing
well,
has-
That's right.
right.
Yeah.
But my point is like, not we HARB, like we,
Right, the city.
the city, like, so what, we lose this really beautiful building for like what we're throwing, my metaphors are all over the place, but like, no, I mean.
Well, it's more like we regain a beautiful building.
Exactly. All right, I'm gonna make a motion to approve the plans as presented and outlined by Mr. Schermeyer.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
No, I mean, we're not the zoning board. This is all work that's been done.
Yeah.
All we care about is the external appearance.
Front's gonna be restored, except
Yeah.
new storefront within the existing openings.
Yeah,
Transon's restored.
The back's gonna be fixed.
Back's gonna be fixed. The road will be stucco. It won't be exposed brick anymore. It'll be
Yeah.
stucco finish.
Yep.
It's not gonna have a big red X on it that says,
And
don't
it's not
save
gonna have a
it.
Big red X on it.
Don't save it, fire department, it's not worth it, like,
Was that the further discussion?
Yes.
The building presents a lot of challenges.
It wasn't discussion.
Well, that's why you became an architect.
That was the further
All
monologue.
right, I call for a vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
He was talking, it was dialogue. You're just still mad because you got accused of interrupting.
You what?
You're still mad because you got accused of interrupting.
Oh. Made me sound rude.
Do you need a motion to adjourn us?
That's at least where they are. Probably what it's sent to.
Do you need a motion to adjourn us?
Yeah,
We're adjourned.
yeah, that's invented because of the door swinging out.
moved.
Second?
Yeah. I didn't hear you say it, but I didn't say that, yeah, but you're right, it is invented.
Nancy, has
Yeah, I know Monarch Mill is